Hello dear children, welcome you all to our class, The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W Peterson. And here we see that in this lesson we are going to deal with the summary of the lesson. And we see that as we have already said, it was written by Robert W Peterson, who was an author of magazine articles, books, especially on the topic of sports and scouting. We see that in this lesson, he was just talking about one of the scientists named Richard H Ebright, and he is an American molecular biologist. And coming through the life of this Richard H Ebright, we can see that how he attained great many things in his life, beginning from at a very small age. Okay, so the characters that we see in this lesson are Richard H Ebright, then Richard's mother, then Dr. Frederick A. Ebright, then Richard A. Weiherer, and James R Wong. Okay, so Dr. Frederick A. Ebright is a great influenced person in the life of this Richard H. Ebright. Then Richard A. Weiherer is one of his social studies teacher, and James R. Wong is a fellow scholar who worked with him in a project. Okay, the lesson begins with the greatest achievement of Ebright at the age of 22. Because that is at a very young age, a person like Richard H. Ebright, along with his college mate, they amazed the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. And we can see that they explained in an article published by National Academy of Science. Okay, and it was the first time that the scientific magazine had published an article of college students. That is the greatest achievement. Okay, that too at the age of 22. So we see that as we go to the life of this Ebright, before going much about knowing about him, we need to know something about the childhood days of Richard H. Ebright. We see that Richard H. Ebright was a single child for their parent, and we see that he was brought up in Pennsylvania, the north of Reading. And as there was no friends for him, he used to spend his childhood days all alone. So what happened? He started taking much interest in collecting butterflies, then noting down the activities of butterflies, collecting coins, then fossils, then he collected rocks. Okay, and during the night time he used to stand outside and gaze the sky. So he was very much interested in studying about stars or astronomy. As a result of that, we see that Ebright's mother, as he was all alone without a company of friends, his mother was a great friend and supporter for this Ebright. So she did whatever she can do in order to make this Ebright happy. So connecting to his hobbies, she also started providing things like microscope, telescope, cameras, mountain materials. She did everything that he can just get encouraged to in order to prosper this hobby and also to get out of his lonely life. Okay, so we see that Ebright's mother was a great supporter for him in his learning too. He considered his mother as a friend. So mother called him as Richie. Always she called him Richie. And why they have got intimated too much is because when Ebright was in the 3rd grade, his father died. So Richard as well as his mother created a greater bond for each other. So whenever they get time, they used to spend together. Evening time, mother used to talk with him, help him in his studies, and also he encouragedly, very interestingly, just did all the activities which was given by mother. Okay, after the studies, she used to give some extra works. Okay, and there also we see that Ebright was very much interested. Okay, he took keen interest in learning things. So he was said to be a brilliant student who scored good marks in the school. So each and every time he used to do something without wasting time. So when Ebright was in the 2nd form or 2nd standard, he, as a part of his hobby, started collecting 25 species of butterfly from his hometown. Where is his hometown? Reading in Pennsylvania. Okay, and his mother was also so much happy about that. So she thought of just encouraging the son by providing a book. What is the name of the book? The name of the book is Travels of Monarch X. Okay, so when this book was given to this Ebright, that clearly changed the destiny of this Ebright. In this book, it was clearly explained everything about butterflies. Butterfly name, its species, everything and all. Okay, especially talking about monarch butterfly. Each and everything that he wanted to know about monarch butterfly is said in the Travels of Monarch X. Okay, so this book said to be a great turning point in the life of Ebright, as his curiosity just increased and he started deviated towards science. So what happened after reading the book? He started collecting butterfly. As it was said in the book, he used to tag the butterfly. So his mother also helped him. And also we see that once he started tagging butterflies, Ebright's mother wrote a letter to Dr. Weiherer, and we see that this Richard H Ebright and this Dr. Weiherer started having a contact with each other, and we see that this Dr. Weiherer just influenced him very greatly. And what happened? So he find it very difficult to collect butterfly from different place, tag it and leave it. So what happened? He thought of just raise flocks of butterfly in the basement of his house. So anyhow, that shows that how much interest that he has for collecting butterflies. Then we see that he, first of all, for that he took a female monarch butterfly. Then he took the eggs. He started raising in the basement through the process of butterfly growth. Okay. Then we see that after doing this for a lot of time, normally he started losing his interest. Started showing less interest in tagging butterflies. And because you know that why he started giving much is not at all interested in tagging butterflies anymore is because only 2 tagged butterflies were recaptured, and also the feedback of this was very less. So what happened? He started thinking another thing. So when he was in 7th grade, what happened? He came to know about the science fair in their village. Okay, he thought of participating in that science fair. And what happened? At first he participated, but he didn't get anything. Whereas that he just presented, or he had shown the tissue using a microscope. Tissue of what? Tissue of frog. Okay, he just participated the fair with the slides of frog tissue, and this mere display, he didn't get anything, any prize or anything likewise. So he was very sad about that. So he took a firm decision. What is that? To do a real experiment in the next fair. Okay, mere display will not help to get a good prize or to improve the skills, scientific skill. So he took a firm decision that I'll do a real experiment in the science fair, next science fair. So he started working for that. So he thought that why can't I do something that is familiar to me? What is a subject that he is familiar with about butterflies? So for years he worked with butterfly. That too started from grade 2, isn't it? At grade 2 he collected 25 species of butterflies. So he knows much about this insect butterfly. So for more information he contacted Dr. Weiherer, and he helped him with some suggestions for conducting this experiment. The next few months were very busy because the next county science fair he wanted to succeed something. Okay, so that was his intention. What happened? Here we see that when he was in the 8th grade, he went to participate in the county science fair for the second time. In this time, we see that he came forward with the topic, that is, to find the cause of viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. He wanted to know the viral disease that is killing monarch butterfly. So he made a project of this topic. Even though he didn't get first prize, but his experiment was accepted. Okay, he won this project, and he was very happy about considering or getting a prize in this project. Then he started improving his studies about butterfly. Then he came to know about the similarity, that is he found out between Viceroy butterflies and monarch butterfly. Another project. For the next years science project, he did Viceroy butterflies copy monarch butterfly. And what is the theory? Says that viceroys looks like monarchs. Then monarchs don't taste good to birds. Viceroys on the other hand taste good to birds. But Viceroy butterfly, as seemed similar to monarch butterfly, they escaped from the sumptuous deal of these birds, isn't it? Okay. But we see that then this Ebright wanted to know whether any birds like monarch butterfly. And he found out that starling is a bird likes to eat all monarch that it would get. Okay. Starling is a very rarely eat ordinary bird food. So in this project he got first prize in zoology division and third in county science fair. What is that? Talking about a bird, finding a bird who eats monarch butterfly. And also talking about the similarity seen between viceroy and monarch butterfly. Then we see that he wanted to study more about this monarch butterfly, and he came out with a new experiment in the second year of his high school studies. What was the topic? The topic is to discover an unknown insect hormone. Okay? His research topic is to discover an unknown insect hormone. And this research led him to the new theory on the life of cells. So then he started finding out the purpose of golden spot in the back of monarch pupa. So here we see that one after the other he started doing experiment. Even the spot that is visible in the body of monarch pupa, he thought of finding the purpose of this golden spot. Then he came to know that this golden spot were producing a hormone that is necessary for the butterfly's full development. Okay? Then we see that this project won first place in a county science fair, and he got a chance to work in Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. What is that? Importance of golden spot. And this golden spot of producing a hormone that is necessary for the butterfly's full development. Okay. Then you know that the happiness that might have reached the pinnacle, isn't it? Then he started his work on pupa. His interest in monarch butterfly with monarch pupa. And we see that once he started experiment with monarch pupa, for this project he won first place at International Science Fair. And he got another chance to work him in the laboratory during the summer. As a senior year student, he did another experiment. What is that? He concentrated further on the studies of butterfly, and he started experiment on, he grew cells from monarch wing in a culture. And here we see that this showed that cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scale only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spot. That means gold spot is very important for the development of normal butterfly. And this project got first in zoology at International Fair. Then he spent another summer in the Army Laboratory and Laboratory of US Department of Agriculture. Okay, all these experiments was based on monarch butterfly, then monarch pupa, then the golden spot that is present in the monarch pupa, and as a result of that, the function of a cell was very clearly defined by telling that for the development of normal butterfly wing scale, what is necessary? The hormone from gold spot. Okay. Then he started, when he got admission at Harvard University as a freshman, we see that again he started working on the hormone from gold spot. He was not ready to give it up. Okay, after getting prize, he was not ready to give it up. He wanted to know more about this hormone from gold spot. So using sophisticated instruments, he was able to identify the chemical structure of this hormone. First, he identified the importance of gold spot. Then he understood that this gold spot is very important in the development of this monarch butterfly. Now with the culturing this hormone, he can able to understand the chemical structure of what? The hormone that is present in the gold spot of monarch butterfly. Okay. Then here we see that after 1.5 years later, he came out with a new theory about what? About cell life. And how it happened? As he was looking at the X-ray photo of a chemical structure of a hormone, he found out that how cells can read the blueprint of its DNA. See? Once he cultured the hormone, he got the chemical structure. As he was just looking at the chemical structure of a hormone, he was able to find out that how cells can read the blueprint of its DNA. That is, DNA is the blueprint of life. DNA is the blueprint or design for life. As you all know that what is the definition of DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. It is the hereditary material in human beings and on almost all other organisms. So he understood that DNA determines the form and function of the cell. Then he started working on new theory. And he started along with his friend James R Wong. In the beginning of the class we said that how cells work. Along with his friend James R Wong, they wrote a paper that explained the theory, constructing a plastic model for the molecules as how it could happen. Then we see that Ebright graduated from Harvard University with highest honors. He achieved second in position from a class of 1,510 students. Then he joined, after getting such a great achievement from Harvard University, he joined medical school to become a graduate student researcher. Okay, there he wanted to do experiment to test his theory with the hope of, what was the hope of this experiment? That it may help to give ideas as how to prevent some diseases like cancer. Once you come to know about the cell life, how cells work, here we see that regarding the complex system of life, in order to know the life process, this experiment will give ideas as to prevent, how to prevent some diseases like cancer. Okay, and here we see that he resulted in building up the scientific excellence. Curiosity, whose curiosity? Ebright's curiosity resulted in building up the scientific excellence. It all started from where? It all started from collecting butterflies. Collecting butterflies, knowing about the disease, then connecting with a similar butterfly. Then he started concentrating on monarch pupa. Then when he started concentrating on monarch pupa, he concentrated on gold spot. From gold spot, he wanted to know the function of gold spot. Then he understood that that is a hormone for development. Then he cultured the hormone and found out the chemical structure of the hormone. Then as he was going through the chemical structure of the hormone, he understood that he could read the DNA, the design for life. Then we see that with that he started, along with his friend, he started doing experiment, and he understood that once you understand this DNA, the complex system of life, it is very easy to give ideas as to prevent some diseases like cancer. Okay, especially from how cells work. Then apart from all these achievements, we see that he was not at all devoting his life for the scientific experiment. He just enjoyed his life at its best. How? What is that? Here we see that he, apart from collecting butterflies and in scientific experiments, he excelled in others also. What is that? He was a good public speaker. He was a champion debater, a canoeist, a photographer, a nature lover. In total, he was an outdoor person. And we see that he was a debater from the school days itself, and one of the teacher just helped him out. And what is the name of the teacher? Richard A Weiherer. Richard A Weiherer just influenced him a lot, helped him a lot as a motivator, giving advices. Then Mr. Weiherer says that Ebright was always ready to give much effort. He used to spend 3 to 4 hours at night for debate research. Along with that, he used to do what? Research regarding butterflies and other interest also. Okay, and we see that Mr. Weiherer was very happy to give a comment about this Ebright, telling that he became a winner not because he wanted to be a winner or to get prize. He really do experiment with great interest because he wanted to do the job in the best possible manner. Okay, then we see that Ebright was giving a tip. What are the ingredients that is necessary for making a scientist? Says that you need to have a first-rate mind. With the first-rate mind, you have to add curiosity. Mix this curiosity with all the willpower to win. If you have these qualities, definitely you will become a scientist. First-rate mind should be there. Curiosity. Curiosity, what is curiosity? Eagerness to know about things. And you should have a willpower to win in life. Something new, something genuine. Okay? And Ebright had all these qualities that is needed for a scientist. And we see that Richard H Ebright, as he stands here as a scientist, we see that the book Travels of Monarch X just deviated him to the scientific world. His mother stood beside him as a great supporter, just accepting and just giving a support for all the hobbies. And he never put off the flame of curiosity from the very beginning. Thus, we see that he became a very successful scientist. The name of his mother is Jacqueline E. Ebright. The best friend, motivator, inspiration that led him. And she is the one who gifted the book The Travels of Monarch X. Okay? And we see that Mama's Richie become a great scientist with the great support of this Jacqueline E. Ebright. So what we see here is the life of Richard H. Ebright. He is so fascinated in collecting butterflies, coins, rock fuels as a child. But that led to become a great scientist later in his life. That's all about the life of Richard Ebright, the making of a scientist. Thank you all. Have a great day.